So a resource called the Objection Matrix is something that I put together, which honestly gave me the most clarity I've ever gotten when it comes to anything to do with objection handling. What this is going to do for you is give you absolute clarity on these 6 core objections and how to overcome every single one. If you can properly understand what I go over in this video, objections will not be a problem at all. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Matt, I built the agency, and now I'm building a coaching business, basically teaching people what I learned with the agency, specifically in regards to client acquisition and closing sales. So to put it simply, we have early stage agency owners hit at least that 10K more. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's go straight into this objection matrix. Okay? So as you can see here, let me move this. Okay, cool. So as you can see here, as it says, what we're about to go over is game changing. And when I first learned all of this, it gave me so much clarity on objections. Right? This is like the first principle, and this is going to clearly define everything for you. Okay? So as it says here, the smokes and mirrors will have faded, and you'll be left with just the real truth around objections. Okay? So what this is as you can see here, there are 6 core objections that you will face every time you're in a sales call. Okay, and it's only these 6 objections: product, value, money, time, partner, and fear. These are the only 6 objections that actually exist. Okay, and ideally we want to fix / vanquish them. You'll see what we kind of call it now is objection vanquishing. So we want to vanquish these objections in order of product, value, money, time, partner, and fear. Okay, and so what I'm going to do now for you is break down each one, what they mean, and then kind of give you the high level overview of how to overcome each and every one of them. Okay, so first things first is product. Okay, so let's say I work at a car dealership. Okay, and you come into my dealership and you go looking for a Tesla. A product objection would happen when I offer you a motorbike. Right, you're looking for a Tesla, but I'm giving you a motorbike. You don't know how to ride a motorbike. You don't want one. And you're not in the market for one. Right, the product is just simply not a good fit. That's very simple product objection. Okay, so for this, the situation is rare. Same with the next one, value. It's only going to happen if either you pitch them and they're not a good fit, which you shouldn't be doing, which is obviously terrible. If someone isn't a good fit, you shouldn't be pitching them. Or if they just don't understand the product. So you did a bad job explaining it, and they still think that the product is not a good fit, right? So what we do here is very simple. Redo the pitch at a high level, and specifically kind of focus on the prospect and why the product will get them to their dream outcome. Okay. Next one, value. So this time around, I have the Tesla you want, right? We're in the same situation, the car dealership, and you're looking for a Tesla. I have a Tesla, and the usual price for this Tesla is 45 grand, but I'm trying to sell it for you for 100K. Right? In this situation, you have the money, right? You have 100K, but it just doesn't make sense, right? You want the Tesla, I have the Tesla, but I'm selling it for $100,000, right? The value's just not there, and it's just not worth 100K, okay? So this is a very important distinction you need to make, and you need to understand here. The objection is not that they don't have the money, right? Don't get the two confused. There's a money objection and a value objection. Don't get them confused. This is where they don't think it's worth the money, okay? And honestly, if you're using a process, if you're using our process, this shouldn't happen much either, because if you've crafted and presented your pitch properly, it should be very clear the value being presented, right? It should be very, very clear to your prospect that we're going to get you X amount of money, right? So what we do here is pretty similar to the product objection. We're going to restate the offer and the pitch and go into more detail specifically about how this is going to add value to the prospect and make the value far surpass the price, right? So once again, we give a high level pitch, we go over it again, do it specifically talking about value and specifically talking in numbers, right? So this is going to make you X amount of money, and of course they're going to then compare it to the price, and that's how you're going to handle that, right? But then these two, product and value, they're probably the two that are the most important to overcome, but also the two that you're going to see the least if you do the part before this, the pitch and the Q&A properly. Okay. Next thing, price. So now once again, same car dealership, same situation. This time I have the Tesla you're looking for, right? You're in the market for Tesla. I have the Tesla, and I'm willing to give it to you for 40 grand. And usually it's 45 grand, right? So it's worth it, and it's the right product. It's what you want. It's worth the price, but you only have $50,000, right? In a price objection, the first thing we need to do is a financial audit. And so what we do here is, without like being too invasive and being a dickhead about it, we find out how much money they have liquid, and then of course other things, savings, crypto, investments, stocks, credit cards, etc. Right? We do a full audit of their financials, okay? If needed, we also make an expenses audit. So what that would look like is, and I'll explain this more when this does all get released, but we do a financial audit, and if they're telling you that they have the money, but they're doing it in a way, if they're telling you in a way that makes it seem like they still would be able to afford it, then you explore further with an expenses audit, okay? So you figure out how much money they're making, how much money is being spent, and then in doing so, there's only two outcomes that can come from this, okay? So either the prospect has the money and there's an issue elsewhere. So we do an audit and it turns out they have $60,000 and it's actually a valid objection, right? So then because we explore that and this was just a smoke screen. Or the prospect does not have the money, okay? So what we do here is we give a retime, and once again, I'll explain what that is in more detail when this is fully released. And we make sure they genuinely want what we have, right? We need to make sure the confidence is very high in the product and the value. Then, if you're open to it, and if this is what your offer is open to, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So in the situation, as I said, we retie, so we make sure that they want it, and then we potentially give a payment plan, right? But of course, if they don't have the money, if they can't even afford the lowest payment plan, then you can go for a deposit, right? You can go for the $97 deposit, or just let them go because they're not a good fit, right? Don't lower it to, as I said, don't go lowering your price to $25. If someone can't afford it, they can't afford it, and they're just not a good fit. So you position the deposit, or you just tell them that they're not a good fit. Okay? Simple stuff. So next one after that is time. So same situation. Once again, you're back in the car dealership. I have the Tesla you want. I'm only charging you 40 grand, and you have the money, right? You have 50 grand, but now is just not the right time. Okay? That's the next objection. So this objection is split into two pathways. But before going into these two, a lot of the time this will be a smokescreen. Okay, so in the kind of what I'm going to be releasing to you, I'm going to show you how to see if this is a smokescreen objection. But if it's not, then it'll split into two pathways: bandwidth and bad timing. Okay, so bandwidth is, for example, the paperwork for the car is going to take an hour, but you need to head off in the next 20 minutes to an important meeting. So I don't have the bandwidth right now to buy this car right now. But for an agency, this will potentially be a prospect of being concerned about how long it will take them to get set up, talk to new leads, manage everything. Maybe they think it's going to take them 35 hours a week to talk to the new leads, to do whatever it is, niche specific work they would have to do on their end, working with the agency. Okay, so if this is the issue and it's a bandwidth problem, we do a time audit. Okay, so what we're looking for here is very similar to a financial audit, but just on time. Get clarity on how much time they have available, and are they wasting time on Netflix, etc. How much time are they spending on the work? How much free time do they have, etc. Right? And then we would do another high-level pitch explaining each section in terms of time. And so obviously, with you guys, this is going to be a very, very easy objection to overcome in the bandwidth kind of situation, because it's done for you, right? So you're going to have a very easy time explaining how this won't be an issue whatsoever. Okay? Or the second path is bad timing. So what this will look like is the prospect is about to go on holiday for 4 weeks starting tomorrow. Okay? Here, if they are sold, if the prospect, if it's genuine, if you do a retie that 100% committed, 100% ready to go, and this is not a smokescreen, then we give the prospect early access. Okay? So they pay and they join the agency now, but the payments would only start when they come back, right? So let's say they pay on the 1st and they're coming back on the 20th, right? And let's say they pay October 1st and you launch the ads and you start on October 20th. The next payment would be on November 20th, if that makes sense. So they get like 2.5 weeks of early access, okay? And so this is nice because not only does it give you more time to get them set up and you're getting the money up front, but you can also position it in a way that, look, because I know you're a good fit, I'm happy to give you 4 weeks of extra access completely for free, right? So it's very, very easy to frame this well. And of course, alongside it being the correct rebuttal for this, okay? Number 5 is partner. Same situation, you're back at the car dealership, okay? And so in this situation, I have the Tesla, I'm charging 40K, you have the money, it's the best time for you to get a car, is right now. But you'd be taking the money from a joint account you share with your wife. Okay, and partner objection is the same whether it's wife or business partner, it's still just partner, okay? So once again, with this one, similar to the last one, we split this into two, a need or a want, okay? So is it just a FYI, like a for your information conversation, where you're just letting your partner know? Or is it a situation where the prospect cannot move forward without first talking to their partner? Okay? And so I just want to make sure if I say this here. No, I don't. Okay, cool. So something that's pretty cool here, and you'll see this in the full version of this, is what we can do is invoke the prospect's ego, right? By calling the situation a permission-based situation, right? Because let's say your prospect is a male business owner and he wants to go talk to his wife about it. If you position it and say, okay, is this just an FYI situation where you'll be letting her know, or a permission-based situation where you need to tell her and you need her permission, right? In saying that, in saying do you need her permission, you're going to invoke his ego, and then he's going to turn it into a want. And of course, a want objection here, as you'll see, is very much easier to overcome than a need. Okay, so if it's a want, and even if the partner said no, they would still move forward. That's where you want to kind of position it. Then it's just it's a smokescreen for one of the other objections, right? It's a smokescreen for product, value, money, time, and such all fit. Maybe one of them, maybe all of them, maybe two, maybe three of them. Okay, here what you need to do is root out that real objection. And what they're doing with the want is they're wanting to get the confidence from their partner saying yes, right? That's why they're saying this. That's why they're giving this. And so what you need to do is find the real objection and use yourself as the point of confidence, so that they don't need to go speak to the wife or the business partner, right? Make yourself be the absolute pillar of confidence, okay? And if it's a need, first of all, like when it comes to the partner objection, the best weapon you have here is prevention, right? By asking the question on the canneling, are you the sole decision maker? Or asking the question on the cold call, or at the start of the sales call. That's going to be your best prevention here. But if it's a need, and they have a business partner that's 50-50 with them, and they didn't tell you about it, then, as I said, we should have pre-handled this on the calendar form to make sure all DMs, decision makers, are present. And of course, if it's a need, then our only real option is to go for a deposit, right? $97 deposit to hold the price in. Okay. The last one and the hardest one is fear. Okay. So this one, once again, you're back at the dealership, and here I have the Tesla you want. I'm charging 40 grand. You have the money. It's the best time for you to get it, and you have no partners in your decision-making process. But you're just facing some type of fear to move forward. Okay? This objection is the hardest one to overcome because it's not an objection. The fear objection is the prospect objecting to him/herself. Okay? And so there are two reasons for this. There are two reasons why the prospect would have some type of fear. Okay? Once again, we're splitting it into two. One is bad past experience. Okay? So very, very self-explanatory, very easy to explain. The prospect has had a bad experience in the past that is making them feel fearful about joining your agency, right? They had a shit situation with a former agency where they scammed and they ran away with their money, they delivered shit services, whatever it is, bad past experience, right? So here, we must properly explore exactly what happened with the past experience. Then we use the three-step process to overcome it, okay? So first of all, and this goes with the other one as well, in terms of fear, especially when it comes to fear, you need to give empathy, right? Think about how you would feel in that situation, where you're just a gym owner trying to make a buy, trying to grow your gym maybe, and you've been scammed by an agency, and now there's another agency trying to sell you something that seems kind of similar. You need to have that empathy and really understand where they're coming from, right? Then similarities and differences. So first of all, you want to start with similarities, right? So go over what's similar, and then explore differences to add confidence, right? So start with similarities and then go into differences, okay? And in doing so, you really want to widen the gap between the past experience and what you do, right? Make it very, very clear that this is just something that it's not going to happen whatsoever. And what you need to do here is reframe the decision. Okay, we have a whole process for this in the kind of extended version of this, which we'll be seeing when it does come out. But what you want to do here is revisit their pain, their current situation, make them understand that your agency will genuinely help them out, right? And just show that all that's stopping them from getting to their desired situation is just this one bad experience in the past, right? So we ask questions like, okay, do you potentially feel like this bad past experience is stopping you from, or is, I guess, hindering your decision making today? Okay, and do you want that bad past experience to be something that stops you from getting to the XX month mark, right? We use intelligent questioning to reframe the decision and position our agency as what's going to get to that dream outcome, okay? Number two never invested. Okay, so the second part of this, the second kind of way this splits off in fear is never invested. And so this is very similar. So what we want to do here, 2 steps. First of all, once again, with fear, you need the empathy. Okay, once again, imagine how you're feeling in that situation. Never invested in anything like this anywhere before. Very nervous. To them, it might seem like a lot amount of money. You really need to give proper empathy. Okay, once again, you reframe the decision. You make them understand that they might be at the current situation and they might not be at a place where they want to be because they haven't had help from an expert yet. And having that help is what's going to get them there. Right? Once again, it's just about reframing, and that's what we're going to show you how to do. Okay? And so, as I said, that's it. So there's going to be other smoke screens. There's going to be other logistical questions. Like I've other agency calls booked. I want to see what's the guarantee, all that stuff. There are other logistical questions that are going to happen, right? And so, as you can see, the last slide of this in the program would be, let's jump into the scripts. And of course, that's the next step, and that's something that you're going to see in the next few weeks, okay? But this is very, very important stuff, right? Like this is it. These are the 6 core objections, and these are the only objections that you're going to face, right? Product, value, money, time, partner, and fear. These are the 6 there's logistical questions, there's smoke screens, and there's these 6, okay? So if you can develop good processes for replies to logistical questions, which we're going to give you, and overcome the smoke screens and find the real questions, which we're going to give you, then all you need to do is master each of these 6, and you're good to go.